Cricket, thank you for being here today with me.
My pleasure.
I have so much respect for you and your hurt story, and I would love for you to start with your health journey and how it's brought you here today.
Yeah, so it all started when I was 17 years old. I was in high school. I just come back from Japan on a year, what do you call it, like student exchange. And I had the whole world ahead of me. I was going to go to University of Hawaii and that sort of stuff. And I happened to be working in a doctor's office as a filing clerk.
Mm.
And I had a cough, just like a little tiny cough. And the nurses are like, "You've had that cough for like 3 months. We think you have strep. Can we do a strep test on you?" I was like, "Sure." They did a strep test, and I guess they could find out right away. It was negative. They said, I think you better talk to the doctor, my boss." And that was a completely mortifying idea. But they said, "We really want you to see him because we think there's something wrong with you." I was like, "Okay." I went there, and the doctor puts his hand on me and goes, "Can you see that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he turns me towards the mirror, and this side of my neck was all swollen up.
Mm.
And I hadn't noticed it for whatever reason. And he's like, "I think you need to get an x-ray." And I was like, "Huh?" So I was only 16 at the time, or I guess I was 16, not 17. So we had to call my dad to get permission.
Yeah.
He gave permission. I went to the hospital, which was right next door, got the x-ray back, and he, puts it on that light box thing. He puts there and he goes, "Okay, so this is your heart and these are your lungs. You see that thing? I don't know what that is." It turns out that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma,
Mm.
stage 4. It had gone to my knee and all sorts of stuff. So I was like a teenager at that time. That is the last thing you want to hear. Mortality wasn't so much a thought in my mind as I just don't get to do all the stuff that I was planning on doing. I was planning on going back to Japan and doing all this fun stuff in my life. And instead, I ended up a year just getting chemotherapy and radiation, which is how they treated it back then. So I got better. And I lived clearly because
Yeah.
I'm here. But they didn't know that radiation therapy was so damaging to the body. They had an idea because they protected my thyroid, my ovaries. They made sure to put big lead things on them so they wouldn't get irradiated. But for some reason, they didn't think about the heart. In breast cancer patients and Hodgkin's patients, they were treated with direct radiation to the torso area. Studies started coming up that they were getting heart problems. So I didn't know that actually. So fast forward 30 years later, and I was feeling not a lot of energy. So I thought, oh, maybe I just need to hydrate better. Oh, maybe I'm allergic to this food. Like I had all these excuses. Maybe I need to sleep more, blah, 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 whatever. But then I started fainting. And not just like, it would be like once a month. I would get so out of breath that I would just have to lie down wherever I was. Go into the movies. Oh my God, I got to lie down. And I would just lie down anywhere because after like a couple minutes, I'd feel better.
Mm.
So I thought, okay, I guess this is normal. Not normal.
Mm.
Just so people know, if you're fainting all the time, it's not normal. But it went from going from 1 month to every day. Every day I felt so terrible and couldn't breathe. By the way, I was only 44 at the time. So you just don't think, oh, I have a heart problem. You just don't think it. One day I was riding my bike in this beautiful area called Toluca Lake in LA, trees, sun, the whole thing. And that familiar feeling about fainting was starting to come on. So I said, oh, got to get on the ground so I don't hit my head. So I just climbed off my bike and lied on the sidewalk and stared up at the sky. Like neighbors would come by and be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." So I just laid there for a while and I started crying because I just felt so terrible. And that's when I kind of realized like this is probably not normal. But I still didn't go to the doctor. I have no, well, I know why I didn't go to the doctor because I hate going to doctors because uh, I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, but chemotherapy and radiation is horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible experience. I never want to go to the doctor ever again. Long story short, I just kind of like went a couple more months like that. And well, I'm a real estate agent. So after my showings and stuff, I'd be so exhausted. I go to my office and just lie on my floor a little bit. And my coworkers would start getting nervous about that. They'd be like, "Cricket, what? Are you all right? You're lying on the floor." "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." So in order to not worry them, I would crawl under my desk and just lie there for a while, crying like an idiot. Unfortunately, my coworker in the next cubicle was like, "Cricket, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna call and make an appointment for you."
Mm.
And he did. If he didn't do that, I might have never gone to the doctor. And so I ended up going to this great doctor in Burbank, and he listened to my symptoms, and he's like, "I think you've got aortic stenosis." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's that?" So I went to go research it that night. And the symptoms were like fainting, not being able to breathe, and sudden death
Mm.
was one of it. And I was like, sudden death?
Mm.
I think this might be kind of serious, to be honest. So believe it or not, I still didn't go back to the doctor. He said, we need to do more tests and stuff. I didn't want to go. It was like I still had that cancer, like I don't want to go to the doctor thing. But eventually it just got so bad, like I was crying all the time, and I had to go. Fortunately, I knew a friend of mine, who you know also, who's in our women's heart group. She introduced me to Women Heart. And I don't know if you remember, but I came in like this, and I've had to lie down in there even once. I remember during the meeting, because I was like, I'm getting faint, I gotta lie down. And you ladies were so wonderful and supportive and just let me lie on the floor and be the weirdo that I am. And
Wait, I need to interject because you called yourself weirdo and crazy. Cricket, think about everything you've been through. Think
yeah.
about it. You've been through so much. And yes, of course, you're going to be triggered and fearful and worried. It makes so much sense. So I think like I actually have to interject for a minute because I don't think you give yourself enough credit for everything you've been through. Think about everything your body and your heart has been through, starting at
Yeah.
16 years old. And of course, you were shocked at 16. So
Mhm.
then to come back
Yes.
around to it at 44.
Yeah.
Now, if you were in your best friend's shoes and you're watching your best friend go through this, what would you have told her through this entire situation?
Yeah, yeah. So I actually have, you've met her, my friend Christy.
Yes.
She is my heart buddy, and we keep each other accountable. She came to me saying that, "Oh, I'm so tired all the time. I'm so tired of them." I'm like, "Christy, you have a heart history. Maybe you should go see the doctor." "No, no, no, it's fine. I'll just drink what," like me, same denial mechanism. But we made a pact at the end of 2023. We're both going to see the doctor in 2024. She went right away, and I forget what they did. It wasn't a stent, but she had some sort of intervention, and now she's feeling much better. I did not go. I reneged on it. But this year, Christy and her friend Eric, literally from January 1st, every day, "Have you made your appointment yet?
So
Have you
have
made your
you?
appointment?" I did, and I
Good.
went, and I got to tell you, you're scared to get, well, I am anyway,
Right.
to go to the doctor because I'm afraid they're going to tell me, "Cricket, you need to have another operation, or we're going to up your medication," or something I don't want, right? But I went, and I got fabulous news. My ejection fraction is the highest it's ever like been
Amazing.
for over a decade now.
Wow.
Like I just got good news. Your cholesterol's great, everything's great, your medication's great. And I was like, man, I wish I could earlier.
Yeah.
I was so worried. Because just being a heart patient, you always have something, even if you're doing well, you're just not how like a regular person can be,
Yeah.
so I'm feeling not 100%, but I'm definitely feeling better than I did, you know, back then.
Yeah.
I was on death's door back then, you know.
Now, did you know that there's a new program at UCLA for cardio-oncologists as well? And they actually work in conjunction with oncologists as well, because, like you had mentioned, there are side effects
Oh yeah.
to the chemo, to the radiation. And so I think that's helpful to know for the future. Unfortunately, they
Yeah.
weren't able to help you when you were younger and they didn't realize that.
Yeah, they didn't know. It was the miracle treatment back then.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thankfully, they're addressing that. And
Yeah. They have a new treatment for Hodgkin's altogether now, which doesn't involve radiation at all.
for a woman watching this segment and they are terrified because they do have a health history such as yours, they might be feeling symptoms and they do not want to see a doctor again. What can you
Yeah.
tell them? Yeah, I know. It's like you feel it in your body, right? Even
Oh,
thinking about.
it's like fight or flight. Like you just don't want to go. I can't explain it. But anyway, I would say, get a buddy that will keep you accountable. And of course, go to a women's support group, a support group. You guys were instrumental in taking away my fear of getting the procedure. I mean, I met women who had open heart surgery. I didn't have to have open heart surgery. People with stents, and to see them alive and thriving, that was really encouraging for me to go get treatment.
The peer support.
The
There's
peer
nothing
support,
like it.
there's nothing like it,
Yeah.
really, and that's why, anytime a woman approaches me, they know I have a heart issue, so they come and they talk to me. They're terrified. They're afraid they're gonna die and all sorts of stuff, but it's like, please, let me know if you have any questions, and let's go to this support group. You'll see there you can have heart issues and thrive still.
And you're amazing. You
Yeah.
brought so many women to our support group.
Uh,
So it's awesome what you're doing, and you're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Which is
See,
really
and thank you to
important.
you. I mean, honestly, you've been doing it for how many years now?
13.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
But think of how many people you've helped. You've definitely helped me.
Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate you. I'm going to receive that. And I'm going to tell you that you don't realize, like, even though we're co-facilitating the group, like how much I get out of our support group every month and how it helps me too. And I really appreciate you. So now I coined this phrase, heartquake, which is trauma of the heart. And on your journey of the heart, what do you think about that term, and does it resonate with you?
Wow, I would say I never thought about it until you just said it. And actually, it gave me like a heartquake, like because it's not only just physically, but it's mentally difficult. And that shock that you get when you first get the news is just like that. It's a heartquake. You just like the whole thing, physically and mentally. I think it's spot on.
And it's almost as if you had your first heartquake at 16, being diagnosed with cancer.
Sure, yeah.
And then that is why it was probably so difficult to go back there into that trauma response again.
Yeah,
It
I'm
almost
still
unearths
there.
stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still work with it. I just had my recent thing where I had really good news, and she could tell just the way that I was acting. I like cry a lot, and it's just old trauma.
Yeah.
It really is. Because when you're 16 years old and you're being treated like a piece of meat, like students coming in,
Yeah.
pointing at you, like, ugh, it was horrible, horrible.
Yeah. This is something else that I want to share with the audience, is that you're not only a survivor, but you're a thriver. You are
Right.
living your best life, hopefully.
Yeah, I've got plans
new
to.
version of me.
Yeah, I'm doing well in my business, and I'm going to Spain and Morocco, maybe Portugal in May. Yeah, definitely thriving.
Oh.
And one thing I can say is that having major illness gives you great perspective on life, which is that life is short, so you got to go out and do it.
And enjoy
There's no
it.
time. Enjoy it.
Thanks for watching Heartquake Media. Make sure you check out our website and social media for more information on heart healthy living. And remember, wellness starts with the heart.